The one and only Meghan Adhara. Hello.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
Unreal. Like, it's really good to see you. Thanks for having
Yes,
me
thank you.
in your world
That's all right.
again because you're growing as I predicted this. I knew you'd become bigger and bigger, and it's only still just the beginning for you. How have things changed since the cellar to now for you?
Yeah. Well, since we first spoke, I've won 3 Best Actress awards.
Yes.
And yes, and The Cellar has won n numerous awards. I can't even count how many. And yeah, it's been pretty surreal journey. At times I'm like, I want a Best Actress award, like it doesn't really make sense. Um, but then I like look at the little like, plaque that I got and I'm like, okay, like I don't believe it and it hasn't sunk in, but when I'm having a bad day, I like to look at it just to make myself feel a bit better. So
Oh,
yeah, it's been a great journey. And it's still going on at the moment as well. So yeah.
oh, it is. And yeah, of course, those awards are just wonderful because they're recognition. You worked hard, you're a lead, and it was a tough
Yeah.
movie and an independent movie, self-funded basically,
Mm.
crowdfunding, and you achieved it. And it's still going to get played in other, regions of the world, and it comes out this year in the UK, right?
Yeah, so it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a date set.
No.
I only know as much as every one of you know. Every now and then there's just like another link to like a magazine interview saying it's coming out this year, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm just as excited for it to come out as you are and
Yeah.
the rest of you. I just hope everyone likes it.
Well, I've got into depth about it before, and we've spoken about it before
Hmm.
when it was still in development, really, because it was
Yeah.
before it was finished. But I'm really glad what everyone's achieved. The director Jamie, yourself, and all the crew, other cast members. It's as you know quite well, projects like that in indies are collaborative, and
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was successful.
Yeah.
So Amelia is what you're on now. So how
Yes.
did that come about? Like, this is another lead role for you. Was it
Yeah.
offered to you?
Um,
Please take me back to the beginning when you first heard about
yeah.
it.
So I was in the process of filming The Cellar, and Luke Mepham, who wrote and is directing Amelia, we'd known each other for a few years. We'd done some, short films together.
Yeah,
And he always writes his material, based on like actors he knows. So
yeah.
he always wanted to do a feature film and wanted to know that if I was interested in doing it,
Oh,
which obviously
good.
yeah, which obviously I was like 100% like I'm really up for it. Obviously at the moment I'm a bit busy filming this other feature film, but like, once it's quieting down, we can talk about it more.
Hmm.
And then he basically just went away and, started writing a script based on actors that he wanted in the film.
Hmm.
Um, used when he writes about the actors in a way that will like highlight, their skills and
Yes.
they know that certain people can bring something to a certain role. Um, and yeah, he just sent me the script saying, I've written this draft, like what do you think? I thought that you could play Amelia, and I was like, oh, okay. Another lead role. Which was nice because obviously um he felt, I guess, confident enough to cast me as the lead.
Hmm.
But yeah, it wasn't like that long between finishing The Cellar to then going into Melia to doing another a lead role. So it's been like months since, everything's like started, like the process started.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously the Indie Go-Go's gone up, and that was like the first time we like basically announced officially that it was now in development.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so that's how I got involved. It was kind of very similar to the Jamie situation, just sending me a message being like, "Do you want to be in this film?" And yeah, I mean, he's a really good friend of mine as well, so I wanted
Okay.
to support him.
Yeah.
And it's his debut feature film, so he hasn't done a feature film before.
Okay.
Um, so I'm excited to go on this journey with him,
Mm,
and see what we can create. I know it's going to be great. The
mm.
script's amazing, the cast is amazing, and I'm just so excited to start shooting it.
Well, you know, what I'm thinking about when you were going through that and talking to me was someone likes you. People like you. So you're
Hmm,
obviously doing something right. It's great to see.
apparently.
People want
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, no, actually it was like the Amelia stuff had like been posted, and then more stuff about the seller was like, like the trailer got dropped and then a
Yeah.
release date and and I got a message from a guy just being like, look, I'm written my first short horror like film, and I want you to be the lead role. Like, I've seen you in Amelia, and I've seen you in The Cellar, I've seen your show reel. Like, I think you're amazing. Would you want to be the lead role? And that was just literally, I didn't audition or anything. Um, and I was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. Like that was like I think one of the first times I've not had to audition for anything.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's exciting.
Oh, it's truly exciting and not something I think you would take for granted because you know
No.
stuff like this doesn't come easy. I've been in the industry long enough to know you certainly know already that don't take
Mm,
it for granted, but it's an
yeah.
amazing thing to be offered something.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I was very excited when he like messaged me offering me it, and I was like, absolutely, like I love horror. So yeah, I'm up for it. So yeah.
Now, Amelia is central to everything in the movie, obviously. Now, tell me a little
Yeah.
bit about your character that you can tell me. Are you
Mhm.
a romantic? Are you strong-willed? Do you have to
Yeah.
rely on other people? Tell me a little bit about
Mhm.
Amelia.
So it's a mixture of those things that you
Okay.
said. In some ways, she's very, powerful and, strong. And then in other aspects of her life, she's very, vulnerable. And she comes from a background where she's estranged from her parents.
Yeah.
No one knows why she's estranged from her parents. She been very vulnerable like her whole life. She's very lonely,
Yeah.
disconnected from most people. People, when they meet her, think she's weird. Like she gives off like weird, like standoffish vibes, which
Vibes.
people
Mm.
don't necessarily know how to take her. Um, and she ends up in this little village in England with, no one that she knows there. She just turns up unannounced, and the
Okay.
community is super, super close. So when anyone arrives, they know, and they want to find out everything about this person. And
Yeah.
Amelia's very closed off,
Ah,
um, but she befriends a certain person within the village, and they become very close. And that person is the person who um, Amelia opens up to, and they have a very strong connection. I'd say it was more of in her mind, like a siblingy role,
okay.
like connection, very much relies on this character.
Okay.
But as a character, Amelia, again, is obviously, as I said, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Um, but in other aspects, she's very strong and powerful. And there's going to be different emotions and different sides to Amelia that, you wouldn't
Mm,
necessarily think at first.
mm.
And yeah, it's
Okay.
exciting 'cause it's a very, very different character from the seller. Um,
Good.
Obviously, there's similarities. Obviously, you know, Abigail was vulnerable and then strong.
Yeah.
So there is similarities, but in a different way.
Mm.
And yeah, it's going to be very fun to play because some scenes are quite intense.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm looking forward to them. I can't really say much more without giving away the whole plot. But
No,
yeah,
no.
very very exciting. Yeah.
But to me, you welcome intensity. I
Yes.
don't think that you'd mind at all. Like you'd put everything
No.
into.
Yeah, if you gave me the most intense role, I'd be like, okay, like I'm a bit scared and worried about filming that scene. and I'll probably turn up to set being like, oh my God, like I'm scared about doing this scene. But like once you get into it,
Mm,
you really, really get into it, and you're like, once you've started that scene, you don't want to not you like you want to continue doing the scene because you just really enjoyed it.
yeah.
So I'm sure there's going to be some scenes in there that I will end up being like that with. So yeah.
It's interesting you say that there's little characterizations of the character you played in The Cellar to now in Amelia, but they're different, similar but different. And you can sort of
Yeah,
work them, and that's great that you can carry things over, or it helps you
yeah,
out as an actor.
yes, 100%. I think what working on The Cellar has made me more like confident as a person,
Mm,
and as an actor, and
mm,
believing in my abilities
yeah,
more. So I'm very open to trying new characters and
yeah.
new projects that I probably wouldn't have necessarily done before.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I think it's really helped me in the development of like skills and myself as a performer, which is it's always great because you can always keep learning, is what I say to myself.
Yeah, definitely. I want to know about the locations. Is it
Mm.
outdoors? Where are you? Are you close to home, or are they various locations so far? How's that been?
There will be various locations,
Yeah,
not as many as the cellar, so
yeah. Okay.
because that was insane. Not as many as that. There will be some outside shots.
Yeah.
Um, and then there will be some, indoor shots of different locations.
Mm,
Some locations are amazing. They're like got that creepy like feeling to it. And some of the outside shots will be in like a forest woods to give that eerie, sinister atmosphere.
yeah.
So I'm excited to see the locations because I haven't seen the locations yet.
Okay.
Um, but I will be soon, so I'm very
Mm.
excited to see them because I haven't seen them. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, well, I would be stepping into where you're going to be acting for the first time
Yes,
in a
yeah,
location. What a feeling.
yes, yeah, and I can like imagine, all the different like costumes and stuff and how it's gonna feel when you're actually acting with everyone there. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just gonna be a really, really fun and great experience.
Are you taking notes? Are you making a diary? Are you documenting all these great things that you've been doing? Because one day you're going to look back and go, "Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about that."
I don't necessarily keep diaries because I'm that type of person who would love to keep a diary.
Mm.
Love the idea of diaries. I get a diary, I look for a really nice one. I get all excited, I fill it out for like maybe 2 weeks and then I just
All
forget
right.
about
Yeah.
it. So I'd love to be that person, but I'm not. So I typically, if I take photos on set or anything, I add it to my Instagram and then I add it
Yeah.
to like the story things.
Yeah.
And sometimes I flick through them to see, what I did 166 weeks ago. So yeah. So that I look at it in that way. I don't keep a diary. But yeah, I keep the memories on my Instagram to look through.
What's 2025 going to bring for you? Like anything
Mm,
anything on the agenda already besides Amelia? And what do you, if you were gonna, it's like sounds like a job interview, but how do you see yourself? At the end of the year, another feature.
mm,
What will it be? Will you dabble in some directing? Maybe is that something you're interested in?
mm. Yeah, so obviously, with the Amelia stuff, I'm doing the social media. I'm an executive producer on it. And obviously I'm acting in the lead role. So it has
Yeah,
like
it's a lot of
opened
work.
up, yeah. It's opened up like, I guess, a feeling of wanting to do other things. Um, Maybe I'd go into like directing, but possibly with someone else, so it's not just like jumping in and doing it all by myself.
Yeah,
Because obviously I have been on sets where I know what the director does,
yeah,
um, but I can imagine jumping straight into that role would be quite daunting and scary. It's okay watching people do it and they make it look easy, but I'm sure once you're doing it, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would like to direct. And I've written some, film, like feature film ideas, but Jess is like horror thriller
Oh, good.
things. So yeah, maybe I will, make my own film, maybe. Depends how confident I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Um, but in regards to projects, yeah, I've got quite a few short films coming up.
Good.
And working on a couple of TV shows as well as obviously auditioning for
Mm.
other projects as well. So yeah, hopefully at the end of the year, maybe there'll be another feature film. I know Jamie said he's got another idea for a feature film, so if he needs an actress, you know where I am. Um, I'm up for it. So yeah, I've got some projects coming up, and hopefully some more in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really good to hear. I mean, on behalf of Jamie, I know that he would use you again if it was the right role.
Mhm.
You had a great
Yeah. Yeah.
relationship. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
cellar was such a great relationship. And Amelia,
Mhm.
to me, sounds like there's a lot of cogs going into place as we speak,
Yes.
and then it's just going to
Yes.
turn into a really passionate, solid
Yeah.
movie.
Yes. No, we did a table read the other day with like some of the core cast members.
Yeah.
And it was, there's a scene in there that I read, and it gave me, like chills, and feel like really
Great.
like I didn't like that. But reading it, it was like, oh my God, okay, this is like really like chilling and like scary. Like, oh my God, like my character, some of the things I do in the film's insane. So yeah, and we've got a producer meeting tomorrow
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Lots of like group chat messaging.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of ideas. And the composer who's doing the music, she's come up with some like such cool ideas. Like I'm actually so excited to like hear what she's come up with.
Mm.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Um, so yeah, hopefully, more announcements will be made soon.
Well, do you get to the pub and have like a meeting over a few pints, or is it all strictly,
Uh,
no pubs?
mm, no pubs. I don't know if you knew I was brought up in the pub industry. Um, so yeah. So I try and stay clear of the pubs. I was in it for like 20 years. I was born basically into the
Y-
pub industry.
Yeah, you
Uh,
told me that, so that's what I
yeah,
assumed. So you're
yeah.
not in that anymore. Wow.
No, no, not really.
Oh, there you
And
go.
also like everybody lives quite far away from one another.
Yeah,
Like planning to meet up in person can be quite, difficult. So we were meant to do the table read the other day in person.
yeah.
But everyone was only available in the evening.
Ah,
But at the evening time, it's like rush hour, and how long is it going to be and what time you're going to get home. That so we did it on Zoom instead, which
yeah.
worked out fine. And yeah, hopefully we will have a meeting in person or a table read in person, because I think it would be really nice for the cast to meet everybody before we start
Mm,
filming. So I think that is the plan. It's
mm,
just trying to get everybody's availability.
mm.
Um, to do that, which
Of
is
course.
very hard. Yeah,
Well, yeah, you've got a lot on your plate as a producer as well, of course,
yeah,
and that
yeah,
you help organize that kind of thing. How
yeah,
how's the crowdfunding going? And not everyone can commit to, giving money,
yeah.
and there's a
Mm,
lot of crowdfunding things out there, but it's
mm,
been successful from what I can tell so far. But how do you find it?
yeah,
Is it stressful for you to think you need
yeah,
to get to a target?
yeah. It is stressful.
Mm,
With the seller, it was very much Jamie did, the social media and the Indiegogo. I was
yeah,
literally just the editor. you know, I just prepared for my scenes the best way I could. Whereas obviously now I've taken more of a very much more hands-on approach. And yeah, it is very stressful. You know, trying to get the Indiegogo out there to all these different people to come join.
Yep.
Even if it's just sharing the link, you know, that is amazing.
Yep.
Not everybody has to donate money,
No.
of course. But yeah, in terms of the donations, it's been successful. I think we're 66% funded. So we're over halfway.
Yep.
And I think we've got 25 or 24 days left.
Yep.
So hopefully we can reach the target. If we don't, you know, we're over half funded. So, you know, it's not a big deal. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to hit the target because I don't know, I'd feel like an achievement.
Sure.
Yeah, but yes, it is stressful because you've got to constantly try and get it out there to get more people to come on board.
Yeah.
Um, but in terms of actually the Indiegogo and the film, you know, getting out there, I mean, loads of people like sharing it and, you know,
Yeah.
talking about it. And yeah, so it has been really successful, more than I thought it was going to be because I am the one who's doing the social media. So I had a bit of a pressure on me to be like, you've got to get this film out there. So I'm glad it's like paying off.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah,
as I said to you off air, you are doing an incredible job with the social media. It's
thank
inventive,
you.
it's unique, and it's
Yes,
constant, and it's a lot of
yes,
work. It's time consuming. So, yeah,
yeah,
congratulations so far on that, if it's all on you.
yes, yeah, it is practically, yeah. Having to come up with like, because at first it was just cast announcements and, you know, thanking people for donating. So the content was already there.
Yeah.
Whereas because we haven't actually shot anything of the film,
Mm.
you know, I'm having to come up with innovative ways to make sure that there are posts going up daily,
Yeah.
which can be very difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
You got to be
yeah.
inventive, like I said.
Yes. And um, you know, getting up each morning and being like, okay, like what am I gonna post today and what am I gonna say? Uh, and it takes me basically all day, I'm not gonna lie. But I am enjoying it. It is a challenge, but I'm enjoying the new challenge. It's nice to do something different and actually feel like I'm, you know, putting something else into the film and
Mm.
yeah, it's just it feels nice to be more involved.
Yeah. It's a labor of love, obviously, and
Yeah.
it'll all work
Yeah.
out. I have high hopes. I really
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
And you said you made so far, you think it's 66, is that right?
Yeah, maybe 67,
Oh,
um,
okay. I was going to
something like
say 66 is two parts of the devil's number,
yeah,
666. So
yeah, mm,
that could be good luck
yeah,
or bad luck, I don't know. But if you're on
yeah.
67, it doesn't matter.
I'm hoping it's good luck. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
This year needs to be more full of good luck. So yeah.
All right. Well, to finish it off, anything final you want to say about Amelia? You already said to check out the
Mm,
website is enough,
yes, we
but
have, um,
well, anything else you can just tell us a little bit more? Any incentives or your director and
yes.
you and yeah, telling me a little
Yes.
bit more.
Um, so we have a website that is being created at the moment. It's under construction.
Yeah,
And we have an IMDb page. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. TikTok is a new one, and I'm getting around it somehow. I don't know
it's
how it
growing,
works.
right? It's getting a lot more
Yeah,
popular
I'm
than
trying. I'm
X.
trying with it. Yes.
Mm,
And then we also have the Indiegogo, obviously, which we have some great perks, which includes
mm.
thank you, like a special thank you, so you can have your name in the credit. You can actually come to be an extra on set, which I think is amazing for anybody who wants to be part of a
Anyone?
film.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just someone who wants to be in the industry. So I think that would be a great one. Then you can be an executive producer, associate producer. You can get a video message from Amelia. You can get a digital bundle, signed behind the scenes, signed script.
Yeah.
Um, And there's some other ones. There's quite a few. Oh, and you can be on a missing poster. So if you can't come on to be on set, you can put your face on a missing poster and you can
And be
still
in the
be.
movie.
Yeah. So that's fun. So yeah. And
Yeah,
obviously you'll have your name in the credit and an IMDb credit too. So I mean it's a win-win. So yeah.
yeah. No, they're really great incentives, and it's. I mean, the projects are important as it is, but it's great to sort of it's a connection then between people who do donate or fans,
Yeah.
and a message from Amelia sounds good to me. So in character.
Mm. Yes, yes, in character. Um, I have stressed though that I'd like to wait to be on set because I feel
Fair
like
enough.
playing Amelia at home might be a bit weird,
Yeah,
and a bit odd. So
of course.
um,
Oh, yeah, and you'd want to be in costume as well,
yes,
probably.
I want all the elements to be there,
Mm.
to make sure that the person who's bought it, gets the full, atmospheric,
Yeah,
you
the
know what I
the
mean.
experience and
Yeah, the full
the full
experience.
effect.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's some great incentives there. I think we will be adding some more
Mm.
soon, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah,
And yeah, very, very exciting. And yeah, just if you can't donate, you don't have to, you can just share.
yeah,
Getting the word out there is just as important as obviously being
yeah,
able to have the funds to create the film. But yeah,
yeah.
any support is muchly appreciated.
Well, as you know, I'm an advocate for indie film and
Mm.
just the projects like this. So I'll continue to keep getting word out. And
Right. Thank
I wish you all the success. And I know you as a person now, as a friend. So
you.
I really want you to succeed, and you are. I mean,
Yeah,
one of these days, the BAFTAs is calling. I keep telling you that one day.
I hope so.
I don't
I
want to get
really
too
hope
far ahead,
that.
but it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I think that'd be when I realize like, oh my God, like, okay, you
Mm,
know, this is I
mm,
mean, obviously it now is amazing, but I think at
mm.
that point it probably
Look, it could take
yeah.
10 years. You never know, right? But it's just
Mm.
one of those things. You're already showing
Yeah.
signs of being committed to this great industry, and you're popping up in great roles. So
Yeah.
time will tell.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
And come down to Australia sometime too,
Yes,
please.
I will. I need to. Really want to come to Australia. Always have. Just the flight is a bit off-putting.
Uh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
You need a reason to come here. So maybe a job or, a big
Mm,
planned trip or something. But yeah, it is a long haul down under.
yeah, it is. But maybe in the future, maybe. I'm not gonna say no, you know.
And your pale skin wouldn't do very well down here either.
No, it
You'll
wouldn't.
have to
My
cover
freckles
up.
would come out. My hair would go blonde and my freckles would come out. So this, I'm up for it.
Oh, and you could actually work that into a character, another character in
Yeah,
another role.
that'd be cool. I could film a film while I'm out there. That'd be nice.